This is Vienna, and we're at the Poker Royale Casino, the host of the APAT European Amateur Poker Championships. Jared, first of all, how many chips have you left?
20,000.
Are you doing well? You've doubled up then?
No, I didn't double up, but I mean, I just grinded away and got to the 20,000 just by stealing blind and a couple of good hands.
Any big hands in particular that you can tell us about?
Yeah, I did. I actually flopped a flush, and he kept going in, and eventually I made about $8.5 grand on that one.
Lovely. And what's your table like generally?
Extremely tight and extremely German.
So a difference in the standard APAT type player?
Yeah, they're a bit looser. I think they are. They tend to go on a lot of looser hands than I would go on anyway.
So they're both tight and loose?
No, I'm tight, they're loose.
Andrew, how many chips have you left?
I've got just over 8,000.
Slowly grinding, or?
I was up to about over 14,000 at one stage, and I lost about 5,500 chips on one hand when I tried to get a bit cute with a pair of nines, and then when an overcard came on the river, I sort of chickened out going all in on a bluff. So I dribbled away some chips there.
How are you doing at the moment, Paul?
Pretty good so far, Des. I'm up to about 15, which is above the average, I'm pleased to say.
Any big hands?
I've had Queens once, which I managed to get past, and Ace-King raised a couple of times and got it through. Otherwise, just the raise usually takes it down.
I noticed you're sitting beside Andrew Tracy, who you reached the English Amateur Final table with. How was that going?
Pretty well. I mean, me and Andrew could always have a laugh, and I respect his raises and he respects mine, so it's going well.
Jean-Michel, you're known amongst APAT players as the runner-up in the World Championship of Amateur Poker Online main event last season. How did you find that season for you?
I think it was extraordinary playing in APAT. I played this event. I played 2 live events, Cardiff and Edinburgh, and I found the atmosphere brilliant. Players very friendly, and the standard I think is quite good, so very interesting always to play in APAT whenever I can.
I'm with Kevin Shutt, APAT's Player of the Year in Season 1. Kevin, how's the tournament going for you so far?
Very well at the moment. I'm on about 28,000. The average is about 15 or 16, so I'm well pleased.
Any big hands?
I had a big hand early on where I doubled up. Fortunately, I was under the gun with 10, so I limped in. And a lady re-raised to 300, so I called. The flop came 10, Jack, 3. So I checked. I thought she was an aggressive player. She'd probably bet. So she bet 1,000. I re-raised to 3, and she called. The turn card was a 9. So I bet 5, and she called. The river was an 8. If she had a queen, I was busted. But I was that committed. I went all in. She called with Ace Jack, and I doubled up.
Well, is that typical of the standard of play you've seen, calling stations?
Yeah, some players are very good. In general, they're quite loose. They'll like to call you down. If you want to get them off a hand, you really have to make a raise and just hope they haven't got anything better.
Well, we're at the dinner break at the moment, and obviously the blinds are going to hurt a lot of people in the next couple of hours. Tactically, how do you play during that period?
I still think I'm going to play tight aggressive. There's still some loose players around. Obviously some players are going to be all in now, getting short stacked. So I'm going to pick my spots and hopefully pick up some chips and try and avoid the big stack on our table.
Fantastic. Kevin, as APAT's Player of the Year, next week you go off to Italy to play in the EPT. Does this prepare you for that in any way?
It has to help. It's a deep stack tournament. It's a bit deeper in the EPT, which is better. But no, I'm learning a great deal. It's about trying to get my A game going because I think I might need it.
With Gareth Orr, Gareth is the defending European Amateur Champion. He's still in the tournament. How many chips do you have at the moment, Gareth?
I've just under 80,000, about 77,000, I think.
And I understand you've acquired quite a few of those recently. How did that come about?
I just made the standard raise with King 4, as you do, and got called by Ace Queen. Comes down King High, and I push over his check raise. And he's got Ace Queen and misses everything. So,
what chances do you have of actually retaining this title?
About 1%, probably, I'd say.
Is that based on your game today, or just on the fact that there's 50 good players still in?
I'd probably say my game more than anything, and my track record.
So, is the objective to just stay in today to get into tomorrow, or do you think I need chips? I need to accumulate even more. So.
I'd love to accumulate more. I'm not going to go mad, I don't think, but I'm also not going to just try and push like I have done before. I've got to where I wanted to be now, so it's just hopefully a gradual increase and end perhaps with 100,000 chips.
Absolutely. Tell me, Gareth, do any of the players know that this is your event, or have you kept that a secret?
No, there's been a couple of Brits who said, you're trying to retain your title, and I just told them to hush down, not let any of the others hear it.
I'm with World Amateur Champion Tim Magnus. Tim's just exited the tournament. Can you tell us about your exit hand, Tim?
Well, I'd been playing relatively no hands whatsoever for a long time. Ended up with Ace King, best hand I'd seen for probably about 3 levels. Raised that up, guy called, had A7, flop came out blank, turn came out nothing. The inevitable 7 came out, so
what you'd call a bad beat, I guess?
A slightly annoying bad beat, but I had my luck at the Welsh Open, so...
Well, I wouldn't have said luck was too involved in that one, but it's a long way to come to be beaten by a bad beat. How did you travel over?
Oh, well, I got a plane over. I was lucky enough to win the qualifier over here, so it's been a good weekend. We've got another couple of tournaments lined up tomorrow, so all in all, it's been a good weekend out.
How did you find the standard of play amongst the local players and the other sort of international players you sat with?
It's slightly different. I think early on pre-flop it's very, very, very tight. There's not many raises. Back in the UK there's a lot of pre-flop raises. Later on, very aggressive. Every pot was raised quite substantially. They'd be calling it down.
The main highlight really has been a absolute monster suck out, a 2-outer on the turn. By right should be out of the tournament, but obviously bit of luck and we're up at 51,000.
What do you think can you achieve at this particular tournament? Can you go one better than you have done previously?
Well, I hope so. I love the structure early on. Obviously later on it gets a little more of a crapshoot, but I think, if I've got that kind of luck on my side, then why not?